protagonist. Who is a protagonist?
Sir, protagonist is the hero or the central character of a story.
Okay, hero are the central character of a story. How many tragedies of Mr. Christopher Marlowe you have read so far?
Sir, he wrote basically 6 tragedies, but my favorite is Dr. Faustus.
You know, his comedies are wonderful and he has expressed a lot many things in his comedies. What do you like the most from his comedies, Ms. Aska? The comedies of Christopher Marlowe.
Comedies? Sir, I haven't read any comedies, Christopher Marlowe.
Okay. So how many comedies are there in total? Maybe you know the numbers. How many comedies Mr. Marlowe wrote so far?
Comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, tragedies.
Yeah, there's 6 tragedies, but how many comedies? Maybe 5 comedies, if you are not able to recall it. Any random guess?
Sir, Sir, not sure
Mm-hmm.
about any comedy.
Okay, but you're sure that he has written comedies?
Not. No.
You're not sure about that. You're
Yes,
not
sir.
sure. Okay, no worries. Okay, what is the name of the killer of Christopher Marlowe?
Name of
Okay,
the.
just give me a moment. Someone is saying there's a distortion. Please do not leave the meeting. I am joining back in a second, okay?
Okay.
Is there any distortion, Miss Aska? Please do confirm
No,
it.
sir.
There is no
No, sir.
distortion. So, okay, someone is saying that there is a distortion. So if there is no distortion, it means that there is nothing wrong from my side. So please, Miss Ikra, please do check your connection. I think something is wrong with you. No distortion, no. Okay, all right. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so we were talking about the comedies. Okay, after that, what is the name of the killer of the person of the Christopher Marlowe?
Sir, I have read the name of that person who stabbed him, but
Mm-hmm.
I have
शायरी
revision it.
शायरी पसंद है आपको मिस अस्का?
जी सर, थोड़ी थोड़ी.
किस शायर को पढ़ती हैं अपने फारिग औकात में?
नहीं सर, पोइट्री में इतना इंटरेस्ट नहीं है.
क्या करते हैं? हॉबीज क्या हैं आपकी?
Sir, book reading and watching vlogs and biographies of famous personalities.
That's wonderful hobby. So what is the name of the last book that you have recently completed?
Sir, that is Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights. What do you understand by the title of the Wuthering Heights?
Sir, Wuthering title of the name is Storm, related to storm. Violent storm, I think. Violent storm.
Okay. So the title is basically the name of maybe a family state, Wuthering Heights.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The place, name of a place.
So what do you know about the Bronte sisters? How many total Bronte sisters are there?
Sir, Bronte sisters are 3, but yes, 3.
So can you name out the Bronte sisters?
Charlotte Bronte, Emily, and Anne Bronte.
And who's the elder one?
Charlotte.
So can you recall the years in which year Charlotte was born? like very common years, you know, there's just the difference of 2 years between Charlotte, Emily,
Yes,
and
sir.
Anne. Mhm. Okay, so because you have recently completed Wuthering Heights, what is the fascinating line of Wuthering Heights that has impressed you a lot? Wuthering Heights line.
Um, so that was the dialogue spoken by Heathcliff.
Mhm.
Sorry, sir. Can't recall.
Oh, okay, Mrs. Ka, you have mentioned you're from School Education Department and
Yes,
you're
sir.
serving as an SSA. That means you're already, mashallah, grabbing a handsome salary that is around 70 plus. So why do you think that we should select you? What is there that we should select you? You are already on job and you're already in the education department. So why you want to be a lecturer and why we should select you?
Sir, because I think I'm very dedicated um,
Mm-hmm.
ready to and prepare for this job. And with my positive and
Mm-hmm.
practical approach, I will bring positive change in this department. And I
Inshallah.
think so. And I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be an asset for this department. Asset.
Aska, you are from Sialkot.
Yes,
How many total airports are there in Sialkot?
sir. Only one.
What do you understand by public-private partnership?
Sir, public-private, it's a collaboration between the government people and private people like business partners,
Okay. All right.
businessmen and
So
government employees.
how many total projects have been completed under the very public-private partnership in Sialkot?
Output.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, if one is airport and
Mm-hmm.
one is I think so dry port. Not sure.
Mrs. Ka, you have mentioned the answer of 6 or 7 questions, but you're not sure about that. May I know the reasons why you are not sure? Because 6 to 7 questions mean that approximately 20 to 30% answers are there, and you're not sure about those answers. Is it so? Are you not sure
Okay,
about the 6 to 7 answers? You're not sure
okay,
about
sir.
this statement as well. Okay, that was, I'm just asking on a lighter note. Proceeding further towards the last section, Ms. Aska, what do you understand by PIDA? PIDA stands for what?
Sorry, sir. Kya?
PIDA. PIDA stands for what? PIDA stands for what?
Sir, Punjab Employees Efficiency Discipline Accountability Act.
What do you understand by Jacobian age? What is Jacobian age?
Sir, Jacobian age belongs that King James the First,
What do you understand by Charles
cousin
II?
of
Who was Charles II?
Charles the Second, was son of Charles the First.
Mhm. Okay, when we say Victorian age
And
started and ended in
restoration
which years? What are the years of the
Charles
Victorian
the
age?
Second. Victorian age,
Mm-hmm.
1837 to 1837 to 1903.
Okay, Mrs. Ka, if there are 100 students in your class, how you're going to manage the class, and if those students are without books even, so how you're going to teach them? What would be your method?
Sir, I will teach them in groups. I make the groups of the students, and I will use bilingual method
What is
and
bilingual method?
explanation method.
What do you mean by bilingual method?
Use of both languages in both native and second language.
There is a technical term for this procedure in linguistics. What is that? You're using bilingual, but there is a technical term for that. Do you know what is that technical term for bilingualism?
Code switching.
Once again, you are not sure about that? You're sure about that, Ms. Saska?
Sure.
Okay. Well, the last question. When Prime Minister of, like former Prime Minister of Pakistan was disqualified,
When Imran Khan was disqualified.
no, the question is the former Prime Minister of Pakistan was disqualified. How many total Prime Ministers are there in the history who has been disqualified by the vote of no confidence?
One.
And what is the name of that Prime Minister?
Imran Khan.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Ms. Aska, for a wonderful interaction. So we are ending your formal discussion here. अब आप आसानी से सांस ले सकते हैं और पानी वगैरह पी सकते हैं, ठीक है?
जी सर।
कुरतलैन, हमारी आवाज़ बिल्कुल ठीक है और आई थिंक आप अपना इंटरनेट थोड़ा चेक कर लीजिए. आई थिंक समथिंग इज रॉन्ग विद योर इंटरनेट. सो मिसेस का हम उन चीज़ों पर बात करें जहाँ पे आपको इम्प्रूवमेंट की ज़रूरत है, या पहले उन पे बात करें जो अच्छी थी आपकी ओवर द इंटरव्यू जो है वो परफॉर्मेंस?
जस्ट इम्प्रूवमेंट सर, आई नीड जस्ट इम्प्रूवमेंट.
ओके, मेरा ख्याल है अभी तक आपको आपके इंटरव्यू की डिटेल्स तो नहीं मिली हैं, आपको इंटरव्यू की डेट्स आपके साथ शेयर नहीं की गई हैं. ओके, आज़का आपने डे फर्स्ट पे जहाँ पे आप ने सफ़र शुरू किया था, अगर मैं उस पर्सपेक्टिव से देखूं तो शायद आप जो हैं वो कहीं 40 से 45% कवर कर चुकी हैं चीज़ों को, ठीक है? आपने अच्छा जो है वो मूव ऑन कर रही हैं बिकॉज लेकिन अगर मैं पंजाब पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन के इंटरव्यू के पर्सपेक्टिव से बात करूं तो कुछ चीज़ों पे आपको इम्प्रूव करने की काफ़ी ज़रूरत है. अच्छी चीज़ एक ये रही थी ओवर द इंटरव्यू कि आप कहीं पे भी ब्रेक डाउन नहीं हुए, कि ब्रेक डाउन पे आप खामोश हो गए हों और आपने क्वेश्चंस को जो है वो आंसर करना बिल्कुल ही छोड़ दिया हो. लेकिन एक चीज़ बैरिक ऐप जो कि पहले इंट्रोडक्शन से लेके एंड तक मौजूद रही है, वो ये है कि आपके ऊपर मॉक इंटरव्यू का बहुत ज़्यादा प्रेशर था और आपको इतना प्रेशर था कि हमें ये फ़ील हो रहा था कि आप एक्चुअल इंटरव्यू में इस कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ परफ़ॉर्म नहीं कर पाएँगे, ठीक है? पहली चीज़ याद रखिएगा, आपके इंटरव्यूज़ जो हैं, दे आर जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ योर प्रैक्टिस. नो वन इज़ गोइंग टू किल यू. कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है कि जो आपने ढंग से नहीं बोला तो आपको वो कत्ल कर देगा. वी आर नॉट हैविंग द नाइव्स एंड यू नो द स्वॉर्ड्स विद अस. तो आपने ढंग से बात करनी होती है, बताना होता है. टॉकिंग अबाउट द नेक्स्ट थिंग, आपको अपनी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स पे काफ़ी काम करने की ज़रूरत है. जब हम कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स पर बात करते हैं, आप कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं हैं इवन अपने आंसर्स के बारे में जो आप आंसर्स दे रहे हैं. इन टोटल 8 टाइम्स आपने बताया कि यू आर नॉट श्योर अबाउट द आंसर्स. इवन इफ यू आर आंसरिंग द क्वेश्चन बट यू आर नॉट श्योर अबाउट, आपकी आवाज़ में वो राइज एंड फॉल, वो कॉन्फिडेंस जो है वो झलक ही नहीं रहा, जिससे हमें पता चले कि आप जो हैं वो उसके बारे में श्योर हैं. ये इस तरह की कन्वर्सेशन जो है वो पैनल को मजबूर करती है कि इंटरव्यू को यहीं पे ख़त्म कर दिया जाए. बिकॉज वो इसमें इंटरेस्ट नहीं लेते हैं। सो पहली इम्प्रूवमेंट होगी, आप अपने कॉन्फिडेंस के ऊपर काम करेंगे और आप इस चीज़ को मेक इट श्योर करेंगे कि नो वन इज गोइंग टू किल यू, कुछ भी नहीं होने जा रहा है, बस आपको कॉन्फिडेंटली बात करनी। सेकंड, आपने अपने इंट्रोडक्शन को प्रैक्टिस शायद नहीं की है, अगर की है तो वो हमें नज़र नहीं आ सकी। आपका मंडे को दोबारा से मॉक सेशन हम प्लान करेंगे, बिकॉज आज की जो परफॉर्मेंस थी ये इवन हमारी एक्सपेक्टेशन से जो है वो नीचे की है। तो आपको विदाउट एनी डिले हम दूसरा चांस दे रहे हैं मंडे का, आप जो है वो इस वीकेंड पे दोबारा तैयारी कीजिएगा। तीसरे नंबर पे मिसेस का, आप अपने जो क्वेश्चंस के बारे में जो एज आपने तैयार की है, आपने मेंशन किया कि यू हैव प्रिपेयर्ड क्रिस्टोफर मार्लो, लेकिन मार्लो को भी अब ढंग से प्रिपेयर नहीं कर सके। मार्लो ने कोई कॉमेडी नहीं लिखी थी, मार्लो ने सिर्फ ट्रेजेडीज जो हैं वो लिखी हैं, और ट्रेजेडीज जो हैं उसकी बड़ी फेमस हैं, बड़ी 6 की 6 ट्रेजेडीज जो हैं वो दे आर क्वाइट फेमस। सो आपको इन चीज़ों को भी देखने की ठीक ठाक तरह से ज़रूरत है कि उसने ट्रेजेडीज लिखी, कॉमेडीज लिखी, और किस तरह से जो है वो करें। लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट, अपनी रिवीजन, अपने नोट्स को जो है वो दोबारा से रिवाइज। द गुड न्यूज इज कि आप अच्छी तरह से परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं। द फर्स्ट वन यू आर नॉट एबल टू इवन टॉक अबाउट ऑल दिस थिंग्स, बट नाउ हैव सम आइडिया हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू प्रोसीड फर्दर। आई एम श्योर दैट जब अब हम बात करें उस पहले अपने इंट्रोडक्शन, आप मतलब चीजों को पढ़ चुके होंगे, कोर्स कुछ बुद्धि याद कर चुके होंगे, ब्रॉन्टी सिस्टर्स को ढंग से देख चुके होंगे, और आपके पास ठीक है। सो ये आपके पास जो है अभी तक की परफॉर्मेंस है। आज के इंटरव्यू में अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं तो शायद हम इसमें 50 नंबर जो है वो ले लें, लेकिन ये हमारे पास जो है हमारी इससे सिलेक्शन नहीं हो पाए। ठीक है, हमें इस पर वर्कआउट करने की काफी जरूरत है, और ये वर्कआउट आप करेंगे और मंडे को इंशाल्लाह हम दोबारा मॉक इंटरव्यू में से गुजरेंगे। ठीक है,
Okay, sir.
लेकिन फिर भी बहुत अच्छी बात है कि आपने अच्छा जो है वो परफॉर्म किया। ओके जी, सो पार्टिसिपेंट्स,
Thank you.
there is something about Ms. Aska. You are welcome. Proceeding further and talking about the second mock interview, we have Miss Fatima with us. Miss Fatima Sani is there. So Miss Fatima is requested in a moment to unmute herself, ताकि हम जो हैं मॉक इंटरव्यू की तरफ प्रोसीड फर्दर कर सकें। मिस अस्का का माइक बंद कर रहे हैं, और मिस फातिमा जो हैं वो अपना माइक अब ओपन कर सकेंगे।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। Miss Fatima, good evening. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, sir. How are you too?
I'm perfectly fine and all right. So, Miss Fatima, I'm sure that you are well prepared today, and inshallah, the experience will be wonderful.
I hope so.
Okay, so Fatima, what do you mean by Fatima Sani? Informal question, by the way.
So Fatima means Fatima. You know the grace of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's daughter, beloved Hazrat Fatima. And secondly, just an addition to my name, that I am the second one after that Fatima. So this was the notion when my name was given to me.
All right. Okay, that's great. Miss Fatima, should we proceed further with the formal discussion now?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Okay, starting from your qualification, your education, what is the name of your last degree?
Master's in English.
Master's in English. From which university?
So I completed my master's in English from Gift University, Gujranwala in 2017.
Okay. 2017. So what you are doing since then?
Since then, I have been serving as an English lecturer at different colleges of both private and government sector, including 3 years of college lecturer as a CTI.
What do you mean by CTI? What is CTI?
CTI is it's an abbreviation, and it means college teaching internist staff, that is given to government colleges for assistance in teaching, and it's paid.
Okay, Ms. Fatima, at college level, what were the subjects that you taught there?
So my subject is English, and I taught English to the students of the given
And,
classes.
and what do you mean by given classes? To the BS classes or to the intermediate students?
Intermediate students,
Part first, part second, or both?
both.
Okay. The third poem is Loveliest of the Tree is the Cherry Gnome. What is the
Yes.
name of the writer?
Let me recall for 1 second.
Mhm.
Mm,
Can you write some lines from the loveliest of the trees, the cherry gnome?
I can.
A houseman is there.
Yes, sir.
A house with some lines. Mhm.
Um, Loveliest in the trees, and the cherry now is hung with snow and
Okay. 50 springs are little room about the woodlands. I will go to see cherry hung with snow.
yes,
These
sir.
are the lines. 50 springs are little room. What
Yes,
is
sir.
writer talking about? 50 springs are little room.
So he's talking about basically this poem is about his experience of going to see the cherry tree, and here he is talking about that when he wrote this poem he was of 20 years old, and now according to him that according to Christianity, a person approximately lives for 70 years. A person's almost age is 70 years, and here he means that out of my 70 span, I have spent 20 years because now I am 20, and the remaining 50 years are quite insufficient to enjoy the beauties of nature in the form of cherry tree. So he's talking about this thing.
Okay, all right. Okay, so coming back to your own degree, what is the name of your favorite writer? What do you do in your hobbies? Like your hobby is book reading, or any other hobbies?
So I am a teacher, and teachers, they remain busy, especially when they are not government teacher. They usually stay busy in their free time too. And similarly is the case with me. I stay busy with my students even in my free time. Usually I get free at 10 o'clock in the evening. So, but
Mhm.
I do read books in my, free time. As far
Mhm.
as the question about the favorite author is concerned, my favorite writer is Henry Gibson, and I'm prepared for him.
You have mentioned you are a teacher. So, what do you know about Teachers' Day? When Teachers' Day is celebrated in Pakistan?
It's celebrated on 5th October.
Okay,
Uh,
5th of October.
yes, sir.
Okay, so you have mentioned you are unable to find time for the readings. So, do you feel a person who's busy from dawn to dusk and who's not able to manage up his routine or her routine, is it
Yes.
wise to go with that person? Because even the private teachers, they accommodate and manage up their time. So, what is the reason you are not able to manage up your time? And you are saying that you remain busy till 10 p.m.
So it doesn't mean that I cannot manage my time. I'm just saying that I don't find enough time to spend on my hobbies. So I'm just saying that I'm able to manage that time, but I usually prefer to give my time to
Mhm.
my students because I have my responsibility to them.
Okay. Have you read Mustafa
Yes,
Kamal? That was there in the intermediate part checking. A very wonderful
yes, yes, sir.
elimination.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Okay. What do you feel about the character of Mustafa
Yes, sir.
Kamal? What sort of character Mustafa Kamal is?
He's a strong character. He knows about the changing situations there, and he was he was very courageous person. He knows what are the demands of that time and what to do. And I think that he was a quite courageous and a brave sort of person
Okay.
in Turkish history.
All right. So Turkish history. What do you mean by Turkish history? What is Turkish history?
Sir, I am unable to hear your voice.
You have used the word Turkish history. I'm asking, what do you mean by Turkish history? What do you mean by Turkish history? You're talking about the history of the territory of Republic of Turkey? Are you talking about the history of Anatolia? Are you talking about the Eastern Thrace? What do you mean by the history of Turkey or the Turkish history?
So I generally use the term that because Mustafa Kamal because Mustafa Kamal belonged at yes sir.
Okay. So you have prepared Ibsen. Why Ibsen? Why not other writers? And Ibsen, you know, Ibsen is a sort of person who worked a lot for the females, the feminism. So why like Ibsen? The very reason is because he was writing for the females.
No, sir, I am inspired by the views he has given on certain topics. I don't think so. Rather, he's being called as he's a feminist, or he writes about females only, and he talks about the female characters. But I don't think so that he only talks about the female characters or the female personality.
Did he admit the same? He ever admitted that he's writing for the female? He's a feminist. Ibsen admitted ever that he is a feminist?
He did not, even for a time, he did not admit that he was a female, a feminist writer. He didn't say. He never confessed.
Miss Fatima, how we can depict and highlight feminism in The Doll's House written by
Sorry, sir, I'm unable to catch the question because there was a disruption in your voice.
Feminism, how you can locate, how you can highlight feminism in The Doll's House?
Okay. Yes, there are some feministic traits in that play. We can say, if we talk of, let me sort out what feminism means or what feminist is. A feminist or feminism means that when women are being marginalized, and we're just showing that they are being marginalized, and there is a need to give them appropriate rights or proper rights and to treat them properly. So if we talk about A Doll's House written by Henry Ibsen, so we can see that the central character Nora is a marginalized character, and she is suffering because of her being a woman.
Okay.
And
Nora is a feminist. The character of Nora is a feminist character. Is it that you are saying?
I'm not saying that she is a feminist character, but I'm saying that the play can be understood by using the lens of a feminist theory or a feminist
What is the difference between a feminist and a humanist?
So a humanist only talks about the persons as individuals of both, like he can talk about both males and females, irrespective of their gender. But when we talk about a feminist person, he will only talk about, he will talk about gender specific. He will be gender specific in his talks about women or even males.
Do you think that The Doll's House is a tragedy, Miss Fatima?
It depends on what do we mean by the word tragedy. If we talk about the tragedy is when a person suffers and has another consequences of his suffering. So we can say that Nora's life is a tragedy.
It depends upon the definition of tragedy, or it depends upon the viewpoints of the reader. Because how you can change the definition of tragedy? For the very first time, the definitions, the rules and regulations, they're the fixed. So maybe
Yes.
you want to talk about the viewpoints.
Yes, to be more appropriate, I would say that it is the viewpoint, or it is the perception of the reader that matters. And and if I talk my perception of today, I would like to say that this is not a tragedy, because in tragedy one suffers and suffers and ends in futile. But here this is not the case. She is quite
Miss
different.
Fatima, we are going to join this session again, and we will continue the discussion from here. Okay?
Yes, sir, sure.